This is a United States military base. I am American. America built this country.
Oh my goodness, you won't believe the latest drama. Johnny Somali has reportedly fled South Korea, but honey, the chaos he left behind is absolutely exploding. The US government is in this super awkward position now because Somali's outrageous behavior abroad has caused some serious international drama. And get this, leaving the country hasn't saved him from trouble at all. In fact, there's this new legal case building against him that might be the biggest mess he's ever gotten himself into. Everything hit the fan when Somali had the absolute audacity to broadcast North Korean propaganda while in South Korea. Can you believe it? That's like a major no-no with their super strict laws about anything North Korea related. A prominent lawyer just posted on X explaining just how serious this is. We're not just talking about some troublemaker pulling pranks anymore. By sharing North Korean propaganda, this guy basically took a wrecking ball to national security. South Korea isn't playing around with this one. They're watching him like hawks, with sole prosecutors tracking his every single move. And here's the crazy part. Somali either had no clue or just didn't care about how serious this was. Despite all the obvious legal risks, he just kept pushing and pushing, breaking South Korea's strict laws left and right. People are saying his desperate need for attention and clout completely blinded him to the consequences. But this isn't just some internet drama anymore. It's turned into this massive political controversy with some really serious legal implications. A lawyer recently explained that this has gone way beyond Somali's usual chaos. This isn't just him being mischievous, he's directly challenging South Korea's fundamental national security principles. With stakes rising higher by the day, everyone's watching to see what South Korean and US authorities will do next. And here's the most shocking part. There are rumors that Somali could be charged as a North Korean agent. Now, while that might be more symbolic than anything else, his reckless actions, playing North Korean propaganda and openly mocking South Korea, have practically guaranteed he's in for some serious punishment. Experts are saying his blatant attempts to stir up trouble are more than enough to get him in deep water with South Korean prosecutors. And if that wasn't wild enough, there's speculation that Somali might try to seek refuge in North Korea. Can you imagine? Some people think his recent videos supporting North Korea are his desperate attempt to win favor with the regime in Pyongyang. But let's be real, most people are calling this idea completely delusional. ISC, see you in the next video. Those were Johnny Somali's parting words, but honey, this drama is far from over. Word on the street is that South Korean intelligence agents are watching his every move. There's no way he's slipping across any borders without them knowing. Meanwhile, locals are all over social media sharing their thoughts. One user had me dying when they said, "This guy's gonna end up with a 50-year sentence when it's all said and done." And while that might sound over the top, it really shows just how deep of a hole Somali has dug himself into. He hasn't just made South Koreans furious, he's backed himself into a corner with almost no way out. Under all this pressure, Somali tried to do some damage control by releasing an apology video about his controversial behavior at the Comfort Women statue. But critics aren't buying it. They're calling the apology shallow and fake. And get this, he even deleted the story where he played the North Korean anthem, probably trying to minimize the fallout from his reckless behavior. But for most people, it's way too little. Too late. South Korean prosecutors are building their case at lightning speed, determined to hold Somali accountable. Legal experts are particularly focused on his use of North Korean propaganda, including playing their national anthem, which is a direct violation of South Korea's incredibly strict laws. The implications of his actions are just staggering, especially considering he repeatedly flaunted DPRK-related content both online and in public. But wait until you hear about this absolutely jaw-dropping incident that's gone viral. Somali was caught on video playing the Imperial Japanese Army March while doing the Roman salute, a move that has South Koreans and people worldwide absolutely livid. In the clip, he had the nerve to taunt Koreans, telling them they should go fight Japan instead of being angry at him. Can you even imagine the audacity? This wasn't just an insult to South Korea, it was a slap in the face to global sensibilities. A South Korean news agency covered the incident, reporting how Somali not only played the Imperial Japanese Army March and did the Roman salute, but actually tried to incite war between Korea and Japan. The backlash was immediate and fierce. One user, Riley, came up with this absolutely savage suggestion. Maybe Johnny Somali could become a unifying force for North and South Korea. They could work together on his punishment. Send him to a North Korean labor camp for life and let South Korea film it as a reality show of him crying himself to sleep. While some people are finding dark humor in the situation, the reality of Somali's behavior is just mind-boggling. He's crossed so many lines, from stirring up international tensions to, get this, actually assaulting a fish in South Korea. His actions are getting more and more erratic, showing zero respect for cultural or legal boundaries. Critics are saying he's basically a danger to anything and everyone in his path. The calls for serious punishment are getting louder by the minute. A recent post on X really put things in perspective. Apparently, Johnny Somali is looking at an additional 7 years in prison just for spreading North Korean propaganda, on top of the 10 years he's already facing for assault and other charges in South Korea. But here's what's absolutely baffling. Despite this mountain of legal trouble, Somali seems completely unbothered, still acting with this shocking confidence that borders on pure arrogance. Some people think he's clinging to this wild fantasy of escaping to North Korea, but most experts are dismissing that idea as pure delusion. Meanwhile, South Korean authorities are absolutely determined to make him face the music for all his disruptive and provocative behavior. The debate about his fate has exploded on Reddit, with users throwing out their predictions about his punishment. One user made this really interesting point. Given the politics, I think he'll get somewhere between 12 to 16 years, with the possibility of early parole to appear lenient, but not too lenient. Another user argued that South Korea simply can't afford to go easy on him at this point. And let's be real, his complete disregard for South Korean laws has left people with zero sympathy. The South Korean legal system seems to have reached its breaking point with him. Many are saying that anything less than severe punishment would damage the nation's credibility on the world stage. And South Korean citizens? They're definitely not in the mood for any leniency. That would send all the wrong messages about disrespecting their country's history and values. The whole thing has turned into this massive international debate. Word is that South Korean authorities are probably having some very serious diplomatic discussions with the US about how to handle this explosive situation. I mean, this guy wasn't just causing trouble, he was desecrating sensitive monuments and promoting North Korean propaganda. A fascinating theory is circulating that South Korea might keep Somali detained until there's a change in US leadership, making deportation less appealing. But honestly, the chances of sending him back to the US anytime soon seem incredibly slim, given the absolute chaos he's caused. And here's what's truly mind-boggling. Somali seems completely disconnected from reality, apparently banking on the US Embassy coming to his rescue. Given the severity of his actions, most experts see this as pure fantasy. One Reddit user really captured the mood perfectly. Big elections are coming up and politicians will want to look their best. Somali will probably be made an example of, and I'm all for it. Even though South Korea's next local elections aren't until 2026, Somali's case presents this perfect opportunity for politicians to show their strength and decisiveness. A harsh sentence wouldn't just be about justice, it would be a moment of national pride. To make matters even worse for Somali, that stunt with the North Korean anthem could elevate his charges to a whole new level of serious. By dragging national security into this, he might have sealed his own fate. The legal consequences of promoting North Korean propaganda are far more severe than any of his previous antics. No judge could possibly dismiss these charges lightly, especially when you consider that he was doing this for views and financial gain. The most astonishing part, despite pulling off some of the most outrageous and offensive stunts imaginable, Somali has somehow managed to dodge serious consequences until now, but that luck seems to be running out fast. There's even talk about potentially revoking his US citizenship, and if that happens, the very rights he's counting on for protection could vanish overnight. The ultimate irony? His own actions, like that incident with the North Korean propaganda on public buses, are becoming the very evidence that's sealing his fate. As one online comment perfectly put it, remember when racist Johnny Somali played North Korean propaganda in public and on buses? Well, he doesn't realize that this can actually be used against him in court. At this point, whether North Korea might accept his asylum plea just to spite South Korea or leave him to face the music remains to be seen. But one thing is crystal clear. Johnny Somali has completely run out of options and his future is looking grimmer by the day. Will he end up serving a lengthy sentence in South Korea's prison system? Could this case set a new global precedent for dealing with out-of-control streamers? The world is watching and the outcome could change everything about how we handle similar cases in the future. What do you think about all this drama? Can Johnny Somali possibly find a way to redeem himself, or is he destined to spend years behind bars for his actions? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We're dying to hear what you think about this absolutely wild situation.